Grand gestures are wonderful. You know, that proposal in a hot air balloon or on the top of a mountain, or that surprise trip to Italy. Those are wonderful, and it makes us feel so alive and so loved, especially when they're planned by someone who sincerely loves us. However, if we are only looking at for these kind of grand gestures to show that somebody loves us, we could be missing those everyday, really wonderful moments. That's the true sign that somebody loves us. This is Naidoo, life and relationship coach, and on this channel, we are focused on helping you create epic relationships. So, what are these little things I'm talking about? You know, usually it's really sad that when somebody passes on, you always hear people say, if only I could have one more day with this person, if only I could hear them laugh one more time, if I could just hug them one more time. Right? We remember the grand gestures with fondness, but it is these little everyday things that we truly yearn for. So, how do we make that switch? How do we actually become truly grateful and acknowledge all of the little things that happen that seem so ordinary but are yet so meaningful, right? What can we do? Can we appreciate that friend? You know, the one that was there when somebody broke your heart? They were there, they stayed, they got you through it, they watched the movies with you, they ate the ice cream with you, and they talked you through that time and got you back out in the world. What about that colleague at work? The one that pushed you to apply for that promotion because they believed that you really deserved that position. Or maybe it's a parent that calls to ask, did you get home safely? Right? What about the clean home? You know, coming home to a clean home or a hot meal. Those are things that's happening all the time. Can we stop, acknowledge, be grateful for that and not take it for granted, right? What about that partner? You know, the one you have that truly special connection with, like you're out at a function somewhere and they look at you and that your eyes meet and you know what they're thinking, or you know if it's time to leave, right? Or you both smile at the same time because someone says something and it reminds you of an inside joke that the two of you shared just yesterday. It is these kinds of truly meaningful connections that take a long time to build, and they don't happen by chance. It happens when two people consciously create this kind of connection in their lives. And these are the things I'm talking about. How grateful are we for these little everyday things? You know, and there's also all of the chores with taking the trash out and taking the kids to school, getting homework done, or, you know, cooking a meal together, doing the grocery shopping. We take these things for granted and we think, you know, oh, these are just chores that we have to do. But when we have to do these chores on our own, we realize how much we miss another person being there. So if somebody is there and they're doing these things with you, maybe it's time to, instead of taking it for granted, or worse, feeling that we're entitled to these things, you know, because that just pushes people away when we have that energy of entitlement, when we're demanding constantly, nothing's ever good enough for us. We push people away with that energy. For example, if your partner cuts a flower from the garden and brings it to you. So there's two ways we can look at this. The one is we can say, oh, but you know, it's just something from the garden. He didn't go and buy this for me. Or the other way is saying, oh, wow, you know, you thought about me when you saw this flower and you cut this flower especially for me. I'm so grateful, because that is a show of love. So the more grateful we are to the people in our lives that are doing these special things for us, the more they'll want to do these things. Because when we show gratitude, it builds them up, right? It's about giving and receiving. So think about something wonderful that you did for somebody, and if they didn't appreciate it, you don't want to do that again, right? Whereas if they truly show gratitude, then you feel good within yourself for having done that, and of course, you'd want to do that again. I remember, a while back I had read this book, amazing book about gratitude, the power of gratitude and how that can change our lives and change our relationships. And what I did was I wrote letters to the people that were really close to me at that time and people that meant a lot to me. And I thanked them for their role in my lives, the value that they bring into my life. And, I got these calls, and initially they were first checking, are you okay? Like you're not dying now. And then after that, they were just so moved by that letter because they felt seen, they felt acknowledged. And that's what I'm talking about. It's little things. It doesn't take a lot, but it is us being aware, being conscious, being in the present moment and seeing these things and saying thank you for that. Not just lip service, oh, thank you over your shoulder as you leave the room, but deeply from your heart. Look someone in the eye and say, thank you. I value you being in my life. I value what you bring to me. I value these things that you do. Right? So I'm going to challenge you now. What can you do to show the people that you love sincerely how important they are and how much you value them? So I'll see you in the next video. If you got any value from this, smash the like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and the bell notification so you'll know every time there's a new video. Take care.